the conversation with the CEO is slightly different when we shift to the idea of a scorecard. You see, future fit is just common sense for anyone in the organization, but the CEOs have a slightly different agenda. They have items that they are concerned with that the rest of the organization isn't. So the basis of that has to do with what a scorecard offers, the ongoing view of leading lagging measures put into strategic context. So as such, we have a slightly different story we can share with the CEOs on their journey forward. To me, these are some of the key points. First, the idea of that scorecard is intended for every employee, aggregated to teams, aggregated to departments, aggregated up to business units and businesses. And they need to know what's going on an ongoing basis, daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, annually. And the idea is that the assessments, the annual sustainability related assessments, don't give them that ongoing visibility. And that's what executives need. Executives need to navigate the business moment to moment to make sure that their sustainability is in line with their longer term goals. So what does that look like? Well, executives are concerned about things like first off, they recognize that there's more to their businesses than just profit. 76% of them realize that they have to satisfy societal needs as part of their overall agenda. 69% of them agree that the purpose of business is to balance the interests of all stakeholders. Now, it's important to note that this is current information. CEOs also recognize that they have visible impact across society. So 80% believe it's important to measure and reduce their environmental footprint. And 75% agree that being seen as paying their fair share of taxes is important. So these are things which are paramount on the CEO's mind, and if we can speak to those, we'll attract their attention. Now, beyond that, 74% of CEOs say that measuring and reporting, the scorecard side, their total financial and non-financial impacts contributes to long-term success, 74%. Now, interestingly, there's some variation by industry. So, for example, banking CEOs are down at 68%. Energy CEOs are at 69%. Communication CEOs are up at 77%. Power and utilities, forest and paper, and mining. So what we see over here is obviously the resource-intensive organizations have a higher need to show their overall contribution, but even other businesses have a significant interest level. Again, that's looking at it from the top down. Now let's take a look at one of the other challenges that CEOs have, and that's employees. Now let's take a look, for example, at what millennials are looking for. So 64% of millennials say that they won't work for a company that doesn't have a strong CSR commitment. Interesting, because the scorecard shows that commitment on an ongoing basis. 76% consider a company's CSR's commitment when deciding where to work. And 75% would choose to work for a responsible company, even for less money. Key numbers as far as HR and the CEO is concerned. But there's more. 83% would be more loyal to a company that helps them contribute to society and environmental issues. So how do we take that scorecard down to the individual level so that people can see their individual contribution? And 88% say their jobs are more fulfilling when they can make a positive impact on these issues. So key to attracting and retaining millennials. Some other interesting points about engaging them. So overall, 88% of the millennials want their employees to share the details of their CSR commitments. You can't do that in those annual assessments. 85% want those opportunities to help their employers reach the goals. Again, cascading it down to the team and individual level. 90% want to provide ideas, feedback, and solutions towards CSR. And then finally, 89% want to do hands-on activities. So again, it's a huge attractor for organizations that want to get the best employees. Now, part of the underlying principle here is that we help people see value, their contribution. So let's take a look at what employees want. Survey says almost 100% of employees want to make sure that they have meaning in their day-to-day work, that they have a strong sense of community, and they're energized knowing the company has an impact. Other things of interest to them are our ability to work with top talent, our awareness of social contributions, some sort of distinction and differentiation, and reputation for growth and innovation. Now, if we take a look at employers, they have a different need. Their higher needs are around reputation, distinction, community, and social awareness. But across these two groups, there's a huge need for purpose being defined, which is what the Future-Fit Scorecard allows us to do. What are the benefits overall? Well, in no particular order. They're easy for the executives to sell to the entire organization, and it provides easy access for all the executives to see how they're contributing. It links sustainability and business economics together, so I understand I can do well and do good. It keeps sustainability top of mind for everyone on a day-to-day basis, not just when the audit is. It builds and grows employee engagement on an ongoing basis. It shows that ongoing progress, which is reaffirming. It positions the executive team as thought leaders and drivers of this broader sustainability agenda. It puts our projects into context. And this is critical because there are so many projects we do which appear to be done only for ROI reasons. And when we move on to sustainability, it's a more complicated equation, and we need the executives to be able to put that into context, and the scorecard does so on an ongoing basis. So that's some of the conversations that you have which are unique to building a scorecard when you are in front of the executive team.